Item 11, questions from members of the public. The first question is question 1 from Mr Simpson. We come to the microphone, please, Mr Simpson. You have 2 minutes.
Oh, good evening, everybody. My name is Marcus Simpson, and I've lived in Southam for 26 years. The question is, can the relevant committee chair, member or councillor confirm that the below version of the Memorandum of Understanding between Basingstoke and Dean Borough Council and SNG is hereby struck out pending the introduction of enhanced governance for the regeneration project to address the improvements in the points below? And then there are: improve governance of the regeneration by involving Bash residents in the governance process that oversees the regeneration. Relocate those private home owners whose land is commingled with the majority of SNG owned land. Ensure full disclosure of the to-be post-regeneration estate layout for Bash on a road-by-road basis so it is clear which residents are impacted. Cost the trade-off of the private profit made from CPOing privately owned land to support or fully recover the cost to build the social housing. Enshrine open book accounting principle where the private profit is baselined and compared to that base throughout the project life cycle, with subpoints: present fully costed plans, outline timescales in a Gantt chart, state the mix of existing properties and what the to-be mix is, so that if there is more private housing, its profit is known and earmarked for profit share. For those properties impacted, establish the fair profit share needed to enable their owners to make a like-for-like home elsewhere. Clearly state the profit share is the fairest and most transparent way to ensure that the regeneration is seen to be in the public interest, and to ensure that SNG and the Hill Group, by adopting the above improved governance processes, may satisfy BDBC that the use of its CPO powers is in the public interest, and that this is the Council's preferred and most transparent method of demonstrating in the public interest to residents. And that's the end of my question.
Thank you very much, Mr Simpson. Councillor Harvey, would you like to respond?
Thank you, Mr Mayor, and it's good to see you, Marcus, and thank you for the question. You've reached out, and I thank you for that, and I'm looking forward to seeing you and continuing our conversation on many of these points in some detail. It's important to recognise that SNG are going to reset the conversation with residents in Southam and Buckskin. The opportunity for investment in the community and to see that benefit communities across Southam and Buckskin is a once-in-a-generation prospect. SNG have heard the community's voice loud and clear. They've undertaken consultation and engagement already with over 1,300 people at their events, but they respect what they have heard, and Marcus, what you are saying here is part of that. I know that they have already engaged with you and want to engage more with all residents, and they propose a summer of engagement so that they can listen, hear, and then actively work with the community to genuinely co-design what comes next. Residents need to own the way forward. Things like the MOU are always under review, and it is yet to be finalised. The important point for us to remember is the need that so many people have for improvements to their homes, for new investment in shops and community facilities like the Westside Community Centre, and so much more. But again, I stress this needs to be co-designed. The many different communities in Southam and Buckskin need to be heard and feel part of the process and understand the opportunity. SNG recognise this and want to expand the co-design work they have done and involve many more people, as many want to be involved, as you said yourself, Marcus. They are going door to door. They are proposing to undertake a deep listening programme over the summer. They want to hear from people with their questions. Let me address the concerns of people. It is important that we all support residents to understand SNG's reset, that they're not scared by things that might be said that are untrue, either through canvassing or leaflets or rumours on social media. It's also important to recognise that SNG have listened and are establishing a dedicated local team of people and tradespeople to meet residents' expectations of better maintenance and better service from SNG. This is a significant move on their part. The way forward to benefit people is to work together to support residents. So the points you raise here, Marcus, need to be addressed by SNG. We have already facilitated meetings with residents, and I'm very happy to arrange for you to meet with them so that we can see these questions discussed fully and respectfully. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Simpson, do you have a supplementary question?
Oh, yes, please, yeah. So basically, I'd like to clarify then that at the moment that memorandum does not include the power for the council to use its CPO powers at this point in time. Use them till they ask.
The council has a set of powers that it is given by government in legislation. Legally, we cannot rule out receiving a request to consider, but we have not received a request. SNG have made no request. And in 23 years, I don't know of the council ever using these powers in this way. And any use must have a very strong case to show it is in the community's interests. Now, any suggestion other than that would be deliberately misleading people and scaremongering, and that's not being responsible. So it is important that we take these questions, that we sit with SNG, and we have a discussion respectfully, that we go through them in detail, and that you have the answers that you're seeking.
Well, thank you very much.
Thanks. Next, question 2 is from Jenny Levy on behalf of Gillian Smallman, the Chair of Natural Basingstoke, to Councillor Tomlin.
Hello, I'm Jennifer Levy, speaking on behalf of Natural Basingstoke and Greener Basingstoke, who both groups strongly support the motion in item 16 about chalk streams. Can you please advise the next steps that will be taken to progress rapidly towards protecting our irreplaceable chalk streams and their valuable adjacent landscape? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Jenny, thank you very much for your question. There is clearly much to be considered to take this mammoth task forward, and I certainly support the Rights of Rivers motion wholeheartedly. The quality of our rivers should be of grave concern to all of us. So assuming the members of this House support the motion later this evening, then after the Council, the matter will be raised at Cabinet. They will come to a view on how best to progress, what information is required, who can supply the data, and what powers the Council have to act. They will then set a course of action, and I look forward to working with my colleagues and indeed our community volunteers to progress outcomes as quickly as we can. Thank you.
Do you have a supplementary, Jenny?
Yes. Within that, will Council be pushing for the government to publish the chalk stream recovery pack, which was never published and has now been shelved? This pack may well give clear indication about the best actions for maintaining, protecting chalk streams.
Thank you for your question again. Yes, indeed, we will. We'll be lobbying. That's part of our, that is a power we all have, is to lobby the government to make sure that we get an answer from them at the very least. So, yes, we totally support that and we'll be actioning that as soon as we can. Thank you.
Thank you. Question 3 is from Mr. Bates to Councillor Tomlin again.
Good evening, and thank you, Mayor and members. Andy Bates. The Gailey Brook in Kingsclear is a rare chalk stream, not only rare in the UK but globally. Increasing pressures from reduced water flow and human interference have significantly depleted the rich and vibrant ecology which once called this river its home. As a riparian landowner for over 22 years and chair of the Kingsclear Community Association, I have observed the degradation of the brook, starved of its natural wildlife and natural flow, both of which are considered fundamental within the Declaration for River Rights, previously mentioned. Fish and other wildlife are now absent from the once beautiful mill pond, which is now silt-clogged, and in the summer months a fly-infested eyesore. KCA, Greener Kingsclear, Southern Water and Environment Agency recently met with over 100 residents regarding their ongoing plans to restore the vibrant ecology of the brook, inspired by Councillor Conquest and facilitated by myself. Southern Water and their partners concluded that 30% of the natural stream flow is removed by water processing from boreholes and returned downstream by the Thames Water treatment plant. Kingsclear, you may not know, is isolated from the mains water system and relies solely on these boreholes, on borehole water from the same aquifer which feeds the springs at the head of Gailey Brook. Intervention from experts suggests that we're at an inflection point between Gailey Brook being a sterile watercourse or returning to a beautiful local natural asset. As a community association, KCA has agreed to be a charitable vehicle to help to galvanise support and encourage volunteer activity. Our question to the Council as a community is, will the Borough work alongside Southern Water, the Environment Agency and the Kingsclear community to reverse the degradation of the Gailey Brook and other local chalk streams to support increased protections for chalk streams and accelerate the planned restoration efforts? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Councillor Tomlin, would like to respond?
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Andy, if I may call you Andy. So many thanks again for your question and your clear commitment to this important matter for the community and the borough as a whole. Given the importance of the borough's water environment, the Council will protect and enhance its qualities and support the River Basin Management Plan's objectives for improving the state of the borough's water bodies within the Thames and the South Eastern basins. The motion later tonight will support us to look at all of the natural water infrastructure within our borough, which will certainly include Gailey's Brook. The Council is keen to support any work which meets this key objective, and therefore I'm very interested in what your partnership and the body that you represent is seeking to achieve, and I would be open to a further discussion including relevant council officers should you feel that a meeting with us together would be of future benefit. So thank you again for your question.
Mr Bates, do you have a supplementary question?
My only supplementary question for the record was I was going to ask that we could meet with the borough outside the formal process to work on that. So that's been answered magnificently. So thank you very much, everybody.
Very much.